Get testing, Dan.
And it's all sorts of weird stuff
I got a
going
lot
on.
more out of it.
I mean, I really like the arc and the establishment.
It's
so big you can't comprehend it.
Recording.
The show begins.
Yeah, we already pre-talked about stuff, Neil. So I've talked about everything.
It was a
Go
little
away.
preliminary discussion. It's fine. You didn't
We're
miss
done
anything.
now.
Well, we had that at the beginning.
No.
Beginning. Yes, we did.
Yes. So where should we start?
Well, start with the most recent thing.
The Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
The Fat Winter Soldier.
I'll
Fat
just do
Winter.
this.
Oh,
That was perfectly blacked out
that
too.
was. What was that?
Right.
It's actually a. This is. It's just
Oh,
clips
it's a clip.
Oh, okay.
That was
Yeah,
very smooth.
it's actually the
perfect,
clip to
though.
hold this.
It was
this
like you
tube.
had one of those things, you know, you have on like the peepholes of doors. It's like one of those, just going zoom over your camera.
Just slide it over. Slide it back.
Wow, technology.
Damn.
Anyway.
Anyways,
So yeah, another good episode from my perspective, and absolutely loved the initial kind of
fight.
fisticuffs with what's his face,
Walker.
Captain America,
Captain John Walker.
Captain John Walker, as he's now not Captain America anymore.
Yes.
But yeah, good, another good solid episode, and it's starting to develop really nicely, you know.
Yeah.
And I just like the way they've balanced out the action, the fisticuffs, and the
Yes.
kind of personal story. So yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
Honestly,
Solid.
so far my favourite episode.
Oh.
I really
Yeah,
liked
oh.
this week. I thought this
I mean,
week was
that's
real good. I just liked all the pieces that came together in this episode. Felt real good. I was into it.
Okay, what are your thoughts, Sam?
Oh well, I mean, so we've got one episode left. It's a 6-episode arc. Yeah.
Oh, what?
Well, don't forget, we're getting hour-long episodes rather than these kind of half-hour episodes with stupid long credits. So
True, yeah.
I really like this. I think last week's episode was a better standalone, but this week's very much felt like a two-part finale. So I really like the fact that it basically the first part of the episode was a carryover from the previous week, and the fight scene was fantastic, really well choreographed, amazing lighting. There's some really good lighting coming in there. I like when Marvel actually get just a little bit artsy without being kind of too on the nose with it. So I quite like that. I like there's this shot where Bucky like punches him, but not with his metal arm. He just punches him with his real arm, just like, yes, good man. I like what they've done with John Walker. He's an interesting character. I like the fact that even though he's they're not just turning him into a just because, like, you kind of get it, like, that whole scene when he went to that guy's family, you kind of felt that a bit. I was like, you're terrible, but I understand. It doesn't make it okay.
He still lost his mate. Yeah, he still lost his wingman.
Yeah.
He still sucks.
But I like the downtime. Like, it's just kind of like Bucky and Sam just hanging out, just down.
I really love that. I think it's. I like where their relationship has kind of grown a bit more, and they're just like, oh yeah, we're all right, I guess.
The Bucky Sam banter is good.
It's good.
It's
I'm
terrific.
looking forward to Bucky and Sam's sister, the show.
I love Bucky's like. Hey.
James and Sarah. Yeah.
So good.
I love the way Bucky was flirting with Sam's sister as well.
Yeah.
That was good.
So good.
But the what's the phrase from what the week? Laddie Bants. The Laddie Bants. Good Laddie Bants.
Yeah, definitely.
My favourite little bit from that was the fact that he forgot that he had a metal arm for a second because he said he was right-handed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't always think of it because I'm right-handed. I love that. That's a
I
great
love that line. A little bit of character
detail.
in there. Yeah,
good.
character details. Very nice.
I think my favourite bit about this last episode is the Sam picking up the shield.
Yes.
And starting to train and shit.
Oh, the whole training montage thing. That was great.
Yeah.
Get the old capoeira in there. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Well, whenever I hear capoeira, I think of Meet the Fockers when what's his face's character was not really.
That is so far from what I think of.
Yeah.
Capoeira.
No, it's this whole scene where what's it? Dustin Hoffman's been learning capoeira.
Yeah.
Kind of. Yeah, it just always makes me think of that. So I can't take capoeira seriously.
Oh my god.
Dustin Hoffman is the Winter Soldier.
Oh man, the edit's gonna happen now.
Dustin Hoffman as the Falcon would be a great series. I would
Oh
definitely
my
watch
God.
that. So when he
Yeah,
takes up
yeah.
Captain America mantle, we've got Dustin Hoffman showing up as
Falcon
the
now.
new Star Wars.
Yeah.
So do you reckon he's ditching Falcon completely now because he left his wings? He was like, "Oh, keep the wings. Don't need them no
Got
more."
the
What's in the box?
What's in the box? That's the other thing.
That's the big question. What
Yeah.
What's
is
in the
the
box?
Because is that going to be a new set of wings? Wakanda
Nah,
style?
it's too small
Cube
for a set of wings.
of super soldier
No,
serum?
no.
I
You've
reckon
seen
it's
those balls? They transform into massive
I
little
think it's an
hologram
outfit.
things.
It's like a like a panther suit, but not that obviously. But
Oh, it's like a
Yeah, it
Captain
could be.
America.
I reckon it's a suit.
Iron Man.
It's a powered
Yeah.
Wakandan super suit of some kind.
Yeah, I was going to like.
I thought about it.
The one thing that if Sam's going to take up a Captain America role, he does need to because obviously he's dealing with these super soldiers and he doesn't want to take the serum.
Yeah.
So I think Dan, you're onto something. I think a powered
Yeah.
suit.
Yeah.
That and then we got. I really hope. I don't want to get my hopes up now. I want to see Rhodey come back. I want to see a little War Machine scene in New
I
York.
could go for that. Yeah, War Machine.
Yeah.
Because he's already had a cameo, so why wouldn't
Yeah.
they? But they probably wouldn't.
Budget.
No.
Anyway. But yeah,
But it is different.
Caprera and some fitness isn't going to be enough, is it?
No,
so
he's gonna need
some
No.
help.
Dustin Hoffman's not going to come save the day.
No.
Sadly not.
Fantastic. Anyway, anything else on?
Well, there's the post-credits scene. Did y'all see that?
Which I
Ooh.
hadn't seen until this morning when I looked on
there's a
YouTube. I
post-credits
was
scene.
like,
I missed
Yeah.
that.
You did.
Bollocks.
You've got to check the left. If there's 6 minutes
Just
left,
fast
it's
forward
on.
it and see if anything pops up. That's what I do.
Right, I'm
Yeah.
going to go back. I mean, don't worry about spoiling it for me. Just
Well, it's not. It's again. Most post-credit scenes are pretty short.
Yeah.
Walker's
Yeah.
making a new shield, basically.
yeah, he's having his own Tony Stark moment in a cave.
But I don't
He's
know what.
like
But the thing is,
clinking it together.
if it's not made of vibranium and it comes up against the actual shield, it's going to be useless.
It's just going to shut.
Yeah,
It looks like it's made of like scrap metal, which means
it really does.
it's going to be
It's like
shit.
big
frame is pretty. It looked like Iranian, wouldn't it?
It's just I don't know.
I know
It just seems a
exactly
little
what
weird.
it means. There's those whole
Big
meme of
Yeah.
John Walker being like the Wish.com version of Captain America. So it's called the Wish.com version of
And
the
he is
shield.
now because he's making his own scrap metal shield. There you go.
Alibaba's Captain America. There you go.
He's the Jack
Oh, dear.
Marvel. Yeah.
On,
Anyway,
on Walker, one thing I really did like is the parallels between him and Isaiah, the black super soldier, about how the government's just like discarded them both now. I really
Yeah.
like the way I did that. I thought that little sort of dynamic of Isaiah being completely miserable and now Walker being like, I'm the best, and now having to deal with basically the same thing of being just like cast aside because he done goofed. Which is
Yeah.
quite cool. I like
Except
that.
the difference is that Isaiah, like the way he done goofed, was a lot more kind of. I know it's
Well, he
honourable's
didn't
the right.
goof. He was doing what he thought was
Yeah,
right.
he was
and
doing the
government
right
shut
thing.
down,
He was being
whereas Walker-
heroic.
yeah, whereas Walker's
He
just
got
like,
screwed by the man, basically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's kind of what happened. The one other thing is the lawyer who was played by Julia Louis-Dreyfus, who big fan of because she was in Arrested Development and a few other shows as well. So it's cool to see her. I'm very curious to see. I think she's going to be a bit of a Marvel staple going forward because there's something about her and the whole lawyer thing. Like I think they're building her up to be something a bit bigger in the MCU.
kind of like what's her face in Daredevil.
Yes.
Carrie-Anne Moss.
Yeah, that's true.
She's more Jessica Jones, though, isn't she?
Well, yeah, she's in all of them. She's kind of appeared
Yeah.
in all
Yeah.
of them. Yeah, she's kind of
'Cause
like.
yeah, I think you're right. I think she's going to be playing. I mean, to be fair, if Carrie-Anne Moss shows up as well, I'll be very happy. But yeah, I think you're right. Then I think she's going to be a mainstay of the kind of ruthless, kick-ass lawyer.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I'm keen for that.
We also
Alright.
got a little Zemo Bucky kind of round off as well. That's kind of.
Yeah.
yeah, just disappointed they're not going to use a bit more Zemo because he's just such an interesting
I mean,
character.
they've got to sort of tape it off eventually because it's not the series isn't
Yeah.
about him.
Yeah.
But is he out? Because in his pocket he's got a serum, the super soldier serum, hasn't he?
I thought he got rid of it.
No, he picked it up in the warehouse. I
No,
don't.
Walker picked it up.
Get rid of it.
Zemo's destroying them all. Zemo.
Yeah.
He wants to destroy super soldiers. So
But
he's
he
not
put one
gonna
in his
give them
pocket.
That
didn't
was
he?
No.
No,
That was
that was
Walker.
Walker.
up. Yeah.
Ah, right. Okay.
Which is
Right.
why the whole
Oh,
thing about the serum making people more themselves is sort of the running theme, where Walker is now more crazy.
yeah.
More controlling, more obsessive,
more obsessive.
more insecure.
That's
Really?
the downside. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
So,
Right. Is that enough on?
Yeah, that's. I've got notes and there is one thing. The mention of Red Tails by Isaiah. I like that a lot.
I did like that reference.
Squadron pilots.
Yes.
About the
Yeah.
black guys in the fighter squadron.
Yeah, he referenced that, and I was like,
Yeah,
yes, that film is
cracking
really
film.
good, and the fact that there's a little reference in there to it,
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah, underrated. That film's quite underrated, actually. That's
Really
a good
film,
point.
really good film.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's on Prime or something. Because Neil, you showed me that. I think Dan, you were there as well, but you had the DVD.
It's real good. I think I bought a copy after seeing it with Neil because it's just incredible.
Good stuff. Shall I talk a bit about Fortitude?
Yeah, go on then.
Go on.
We finished season 1. It wasn't very obvious we finished season 1 because it wasn't like a kind of finale. This is the end of season. It was just Fortitude being as frustrating and opaque as opaque. I think is a good word for Fortitude. Dark and opaque, and you never quite know what's going on and who's doing what and why it's happening. But the last couple of episodes were really good. Lots of interesting stuff happening with ancient mummified parasitic wasps and all sorts of weird sci-fi and horror. So we decided on the basis that we were frustrated and interested enough to go for season 2, and it hasn't disappointed in being frustrating and interesting so far. I would recommend it. I mean, Dan, you'll have access to it because it's on my Prime now. Man,
it just sounds like it doesn't do anything apart from go whoa.
No, it does a lot, and it keeps you interested in a way that kind of a bit like Line of Duty, which we'll obviously come on to in a minute, in a way that it frustrates you with unexpected stuff. So you want to watch more to see if they're going to resolve the unexpected they've been peddling to you before, and also bring in some new interesting stuff. So it kind of, I don't know how they do it, but it kind of it's a bit like being addicted to a drug and not knowing why you're addicted to a drug. It's a bit kind of, and they brought in Dennis Quaid for this season.
Michael Gambon's Dennis Quaid.
Yeah, and he's good. He's a grizzled sort of drunk, roughneck.
I
have a point about Dennis Quaid, but I'll come back to that.
Yeah. So they've still got some good. Did I mention season 1 had Stanley Tucci?
Oh,
yeah, Stanley Tucci and Michael Gambon. Some fairly. I mean, they killed off both characters at the end of it, unfortunately. But they were both brilliant, and so it's got some good acting talent, some good sort of lesser known acting talent, like the town sheriff. I can't remember the name of the guy, but he's just brilliant. But yeah, it continues to be
interesting enough to watch.
Strangely interesting.
Yeah, okay.
You don't want to like it and don't want to keep watching it.
That's very different to Line of Duty. I feel like I
think there's some sort of subliminal sort of sort of those little quick messages saying you like this, you watch this. Those frames they're cutting.
You will like this.
I think that's what's happening. But yeah, it's I thoroughly recommend it. It's just. I mean, if you're the sort of person who gets frustrated by this, don't watch it because you'll be swearing through your teeth all the time. But if you like your expectations being thwarted by what you and don't like it. It's quite graphic and in places.
Yeah, it sounded pretty.
So if you don't like gruesome, then don't. But yeah.
Before you guys go on to your Line of Duty stuff, you mentioned Dennis Quaid, and it's an interesting thing that I've been thinking about for a while. So obviously you guys know, and Daniel like it as well, Jaws films I love the main Jaws film. Second one, that's actually not too bad. Third one, hilarious. But the third one had Dennis Quaid as Michael, one of the Brody sons. And I was thinking about Jaws 3 still has a few cool moments, even though it's a stupid film. There's a few cool moments. Anyway, so for the longest time, I've been thinking about I really want them to kind of bring Jaws back, but in a good way, because obviously they've done the sequels have gone progressively horrific, and then you got Jaws of Revenge, which Michael Caine forgot he was in that paid for his house. Yeah. So I've had this idea for a long time, either a sequel movie or a miniseries, 4-episode miniseries called Amity, and I would bring back Dennis Quaid as either Mike or the other Brody. I can't remember which son they were. I'd always imagined I'd still include Jaws 3 as a canon to that, but kind of half canon.
So any script writers watching, Call us.
Yeah, I think the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come up with a mock poster and basically just bombard Universal Pictures Twitter. Like, I've got this idea. Come to me. We can make it happen. Right, there we go. That was my pitch. Go on the Line of Duty, guys.
Before Line of Duty, because I know they want to talk about it. Who watched Love and Monsters this week? Because it was kind of semi-homework. Hey, everyone apart from Sam.
I loved it. I mean, yeah, it wasn't the best film in the world, but I just think the way they did it. I looking at the previews, I thought, God, that's going to be awesome. But watching it was that, and I can't remember the name of the actor, the central character, but he's just perfect for that part. But yeah, I thought, yeah, good and entertaining stuff.
It was the sort of sense of humour that went along with his kind of narrative that was. It was quite light, they're quite a serious situation, but it was quite sort of flippant and light the way he was presenting it. And he meets the dog, and everyone's like, "Yeah, dog called Boy, me boy."
Yeah.
And he meets up with those two survivalists. One's a grizzled old guy, played by the guy from.
Rooker.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's from
Guardians.
Guardians of the
Walking
Galaxy.
Dead.
Yes.
Wasn't he in Walking Dead as well?
Yes, he was.
Yep.
He's a
Yes.
similar sort of character, actually.
Yeah.
Yep.
So grizzled survivalist, and he's got this 8-year-old girl tagging along, and the 8-year-old girl's better at survival stuff than the central character when they meet up. It's just terrible and stuff. I think the 8-year-old girl's going, "Oh, you're really useless. You're going to die probably."
Yeah.
So I like. It's just like that, and the monsters were good. I did like the monsters.
I really liked the monster design. I thought that was honestly the monster design was the best part of it for me. I was kind of underwhelmed by the rest of it. It was just it's basically Zombieland with bugs.
Yeah.
And I honestly think Zombieland is a better film, but that's regardless.
I thought it was entertaining.
It was entertaining. I thought it was fine. I thought the main character was an idiot, and I didn't like him because he
was.
kept putting his face up to things. It's like, you shouldn't do that. You're aware of the situation. Don't put your face next to the hole with the bug in it.
But you get that in everything.
I know, but it's so annoying.
I know, but one thing about Fortitude is we keep going, "No, don't leave the f***ing door open," and things like that. You're actually shouting at these people on TV. And you have to go,
I was doing that with this. I was going, "Don't do that, you idiot. You're going to fall in a hole and die. That thing's going to eat you. Don't go near it."
Yeah, but he's meant to be oblivious.
I know.
And,
I know it's his character, but it's just like
entire drama and
the bit where he's like just like swanning around in the river after he blows up the giant slug. It's like, amphibians are lethal. Get out of the water, dude. You're gonna die. And then he gets poisoned and nearly dies. And it's like, the one bit I didn't like, he shouts at the dog, blames the dog for it. And I was like, this guy.
Yeah, but the dog didn't get leeches.
No, the dog didn't
and
get
it jumped in.
But why would he blame the dog? The dog's a dog. He doesn't know. No, I thought it was good. It was fine. It was entertaining.
Yeah, but it was good. So anyway, come on, let's get to the meat of this, and then and the zero reciprocity.
Zero reciprocity. So I've never ever hyperventilated at anything in my life before, but last night I was sitting there like this. Going,
Really?
Holy shit, that ending.
You were that stressed.
I really was.
I think last week we were talking about that Pilkington getting shot. You just want it to happen, and
oh god, if Kate dies,
it is.
I'm gonna be so sad.
No, they won't kill off Kate.
I don't think they will. But
Well, they will.
Like, the only way this ends is either she gets shot and they get away before AC-12s turn up, or she shoots Ryan, and then Davidson's in.
I think it's gonna be either of those. I think it'll be something. Jed will figure out
third option that I haven't considered.
Yeah,
third option.
Probably.
My thinking is that Pilkington will shoot Kate in like the shoulder. It will be some kind of injury to take her out of the situation, out of the story for a while.
Yeah,
That's my
it's gonna be
thinking.
incapacitated in some way.
Yeah, and it will either be a miss, but I don't think he'll be dead. I don't think so.
But will it? But there was 2 shots, wasn't there?
There were
Yeah,
2 shots.
one each.
How do we? Yeah, but do you know it's them? Someone else might have arrived.
Like AC-12 swoop in and with the AFOs and just blast them.
Like Steve-O.
Steve.
One of the shots.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Steve!
Steve-O!
Yeah, he's like down the road,
Yeah,
fucking
he's
miles
halfway
away.
across London with a Glock. Just
Yeah,
goes,
he's got a sniper rifle. He's
Yeah.
a mile away. Yeah. Anyway, so we'll see. But yeah, it was cracking.
Just like from the word go though, Ryan's face, like through the entire episode, was just terrifying.
Yeah,
that
he did
actor is
so well.
so good. He says like two words, but oh my god, does he look like pissed and himself out the entire thing? That actor's incredible. My god.
Yeah.
He does a terrific job. Like when they're all meeting, where Kate's delivering the dialogue about where we're going, and things. Just the stare.
His face
just
is
that
like.
And the bits when she says, "You're with me."
Yeah.
Fine.
Look at him. Come here.
It's the look of death, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Terrific.
Yeah, I was cheering throughout the entire
nowadays,
thing where they're sort of like kind of
get into it.
getting onto Ryan. I was sort of cheering. Yes, do him, lads, get him, bust him.
But of course, this whole episode sort of paints suspicion on Ted for Kate and Steve, doesn't it? Because they're like, well, why would you do that? Because of course, Ted's going all in, trying to make this last month count. He wants to pull out all the stops, so he's like, right, we'll leave Pilkington in because he will lead us to the bigger fish. We'll do this, we'll do that, and he's playing for higher stakes. But because they're unaware of what's going on and what Ted's trying to accomplish, he just looks suspicious as hell. And it's like, oh, that's brilliant because it's going to set them off against one another.
Steve has gone to talk to Carl Banks' brother, who we thought was going to come back, Lee Banks.
Yes.
Ted's dobbed Corbett in.
So so that was a revelation because last series we were like, did he do that? Did he not do that? Turns out he did.
He did, but why?
He got Corbett killed.
But why?
Yeah.
And then he gives the money to his missus.
Which we did know.
Corbett's missus, which we knew. But like, why? Ted, why? You were so good and in the clear, and now we don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the way you get sort of, attached to a character and you think you know them, and then it gets turned around, isn't it? But the other favourite bit was, I can't remember the name of the character, but the woman who comes in at the end to take over.
Oh, she's back again. Bloody Carl.
Yeah. As soon as you saw her, you think, oh, gee.
She just messes everything up every time. She comes in and goes, all right, I'm in charge now. It's like, no, but you're ruining everything. Go away.
Yeah. Yeah. She's horrible.
She
that does a terrific job, but I really want her dead.
Yeah. She just comes in and doesn't give a shit about anything. Like, Hastings going, look, we've got all this stuff that proves things are going. She's like, no, I don't believe it. Like, well, why not?
Yeah, she's just an egomaniac. She's like, it will be done my way and nothing else.
Yeah. So I like that, the fact they keep, this keeps happening, doesn't it? A spanner keeps getting thrown in the works like this. So just at crucial points when you think, oh no, not now.
Do you reckon the old guy is putting on an act? When they went to interview the guy, he was a bit like, oh, I don't know anything.
Oh god, yeah.
He seemed a little kind of like too oblivious to everything. He's like, oh, I don't recognise that. No, never seen him before.
Yeah, he's pulled that trick before. He tried to in the past.
I reckon
So.
it's bullshit.
But
I also really like Chloe. Steve's like little partner. She's great.
Yeah,
I feel like she's
good.
really coming into her own this episode. She's sort of just like, right, I'm getting all this research done. Got leads for you, boss. Let's do this.
How many episodes we got left now? Is next week the final?
I don't know.
I hope not.
I need to check.
Then again, after however many weeks of some respite might not be the worst thing. So who knows?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But there was the twist with the the head of the police chief chap who's when Ted went to see him in his office was like, he's not corrupt. He's just having his, he's just getting tangled up in the bureaucracy because he's essentially a politician, isn't he?
Guy. I was quite surprised by that. I was like, oh, you're not completely evil.
I know, particularly after the shot. Was it last week or the week before where he's looking down the staircase as Ted leaves? It's like, But that was a nice reveal.
Indeed.
And it's like he's encouraging. He's actually trying to be batting Ted's corner. And it's like, so where does the corruption that's clearly around his level or just slightly above him really lie?
Steve's old boss, which I didn't realise was like the head of police force now.
No, neither did I.
He's linked to the whole thing with Buckles and all that case.
And it looks like in this season, either in this season or the next season, they're going to bring back in Matey Boy. From Stanley's Lucky Man.
James Nesbitt. He hasn't been in it before, has he?
No, but it looks like he might be.
Yeah, the thing, I didn't like his casting purely because as soon as he appeared on screen, I was like, oh, he's too well known. He's going to be the H character or something quite significant.
I think he'll be the H, but I think he's a major player.
Well, yes.
He disappeared. I mean, why have him as one of the photo fits if he's not going to be in it at some point?
Yeah. unless it's all just a ploy.
Indeed. Well, the main thing we didn't address is the cliffhanger from last week. Davison's relation. She is related to what's his face.
Oh, Tommy Hunter.
Last bitch. So there's that whole thing of why she's connected with it, which again she seems to be really being used kind of pretty badly.
Yeah.
It's like, this is my last job. Yeah, sure, but it's like
The amount of Twitter sort of backlash on the spelling of definitely.
Oh, I know, but that was established in Series 3 that H doesn't know how to spell. That was like one of the things that almost tied Hastings and H together, because Hastings spelt stuff the same way incorrectly.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, to be honest, I was waiting for that this week. As soon as the dialogue was going, I was like, is he going to spell stuff wrong? And then, of course, he did. I was like, yes, continuity.
yes, good stuff. But yeah, oh my god. I thought last week's cliffhanger was like, oh my god, but this one... Oh, I had to take like 5 minutes to sit and breathe for a second after this week. Oh my god. Whew. God damn.
Dave, what have you been watching? Come on.
Line of Duty.
Yeah, I've done the first 4 episodes first 3 episodes. The 4th episode, I've kind of skipped through it, so I need to go back and watch that properly. But first 3 episodes, it's the 3rd episode. I think it's the end of the 3rd episode where things just start going completely.
Are we talking about current
Series 1? Series 1.
Season 1. Ah.
Back in the day, back in Gates' day, we were talking here.
Yeah, because what's her name? Businesswoman gets.
Gravity. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And you're like, what? Where did that come from? And then
Yeah.
you start to realise that she's, in deep with some pretty nasty characters. And now is it the same episode, the following episode, that Gates has been recruited? Not.
Well, he's being manipulated, but yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yeah. It's really difficult to not say anything.
Yeah. Do you know so little about what's going to happen and how this evolves? There's a
big kingpin type guy somewhere controlling all this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, now, how's Gates going to get out of this? Is he going to fess up to someone and say, guys, you got to help me, or is he just going to?
Who knows?
Who knows? Who can tell?
You end up with no fingers,
Someone else. When did the thing? Oh yeah, the finger.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
3 people, 2 in the house and 1 hung up on the lamppost,
Yeah.
drug dealers have been. And then
Mhm.
I remember the finger chopping. Yep, forgot about that.
Yeah.
Blimey. Yeah.
so yeah, it's a bit grisly in places, but
Series 1 is actually quite grim.
what's going on?
Yeah, that doesn't stop.
And Hastings' sidekick, I can't remember his name.
Sidekick?
The young guy who's working with Hastings.
Oh, Steve-O.
I mean, Steve.
Steve-O, yeah.
Our boy Steve.
He just went crazy in the last 2 episodes, just turning up at what's his name's house and stuff. Just like, ease up.
Ease up.
Yeah.
I know you're guilty and I'm going to find out. And it's trying to search his car and everything. It's
Yeah,
just
he's
like,
new. He doesn't know what he's doing.
Hastings just had to go, like, you just can't chill out, mate.
Yeah.
He's ex-AFO. All he knows how to do is breach and clear. He's learning the ways of the anti-corruption.
Yeah, he's a bit kind of like,
Yeah.
and Hastings is just like, calm yourself
Calm
down,
down,
there.
fella.
I thought that was quite good. Because you're thinking, ding that,
Well, I started watching The Crown this week.
Aha.
Yeah, it's good. I liked it.
I've only seen about 4 or 5 episodes in. Dad wanted to watch it because of obviously the thing with Prince Philip passing on, R.I.P. And I think Mum was watching it the other week, and I was like, actually, I want to see this from the start. So I didn't think they could make the royal family as gripping as that. What's really interesting is if you've ever seen the King's Speech, the parallel between that and how they sort of show King George and slightly the different character flaws. Because obviously he's not a quivering, stumbling mess like he was in that film. Obviously they played that up a bit, but I like the fact that his health is a real problem. So that was very interesting. Also, Matt Smith as the Duke of Edinburgh is fantastic casting.
Yeah.
Here for that.
Good, yeah.
And also just the fact he's bloody beautifully shot. Like, And Hans Zimmer doing like the opening titles and everything, and God, yeah, lot going on. So I'm very keen. Obviously, I'm a few seasons away. I'm very much looking forward to the Diana stuff because that's more stuff I know about. But like also John Lithgow as Churchill. What an interesting casting choice, and I kind of love it. Like it's very unexpected. And not necessarily my favorite Churchill casting ever, but it was. Yeah, I gotta say, I'm digging it. So. Yeah, it's a damn good show. I'm surprised it took this long to watch it, but it's.
I have heard nothing but good things about it, so maybe someday I will jump on it.
Another thing I started watching on Amazon original was Sound of Metal.
All
right, yeah.
And yeah, so far it's interesting. I mean, it's quite slow. It's quite a slow burner. It's not like what's that film about that crazy drum? Yeah. But it's I love the way they do it. It's about a drummer who loses his hearing. I don't think I'm giving too much away by saying that.
No.
But when they do it from his perspective of hearing.
Oh.
And that's quite scary. So you're thinking, how the f can you drum when you can only hear that? And just so I quite like the way that it's kind of pitched. And the central character, I can't remember where he's from, but he's perfectly cast for this.
Oh, what, Reza Mead?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
him. Hey, yeah.
So yeah, I started watching that, and because I finished Vikings, I said that last week. I'll come on to that in a minute. But that I'd recommend it. Yeah, especially as a drummer, it could be very.
Yeah.
But it isn't just like a drum fest. It is more kind of
Character focused sort of thing. Yeah. Yeah, it's been funny. I've been recommended that I think 3 or 4 times this week, so I've been like, okay, I'll make sure I get around to that one.
Yeah, that's on my watch list.
Yeah,
pretty good. Cool.
But the end of Vikings. Well, it was the end of Vikings. I mean, when you've got 6 seasons to finish off in one episode,
I thought it rounded things off quite nicely. Everyone was kind of in a place.
That's all you can do.
And it just you can't like end the series with like everyone's story is over because that doesn't happen until they die basically.
Yeah.
It just rounds everything off where they're all in a place that's like okay, everyone is where they should be.
Yeah. I like the way they ended it off with the 2 of them sitting on the beach and
the bit with Ivar like controlling people, that was cool. I really like that bit. It's like I really like the way it's kind of implied that he's sort of directing the flow of all these people because he's that like greater leader. The way it's sort of done is really cool. I really like the sort of the cinematography of him. Like when he swings his sword, someone else next to him goes whoosh. It's just that was cool. That was very cool. But yeah,
it was nice. I mean, I think it's a very difficult job to end a series which is going 6+ seasons.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good. I mean, if you haven't watched it, Vikings.
Yeah, Vikings very good. Vikings, Black Sails, both very good.
Yeah, if you haven't seen Black Sails, do Black Sails first. I think that's an awesome series.
Yeah, Black Sails is really good, and it's short.
There's no Muppets in it, so
there isn't any Muppets in it, or any spaceships, or cyborgs.
Any parrots going pretty Polly, or anyone going. There you go. Right, so Dave and Sam. Anything else?
Yes, there is one other thing. It's because obviously we're also going to talk about because briefly we talked about trailers and stuff before. Some interesting news from Alfred Molina, who played Doc Ock in Spider-Man 2, who just straight up admitted that he's playing Doc Ock in the new Spider-Man coming out, and he's playing. Again, I don't know if he's just trolling us to no end, but I think Alfred Molina doesn't care. Like he's just doing whatever.
He's been around long enough. He probably doesn't need to give a shit.
Exactly. Yeah. So apparently,
the studio goes, "Don't say anything. Don't say anything." Okay, fine.
Allegedly, it takes place after his alleged death at the end of Spider-Man 2. Obviously, spoilers there, but it's from 2004, so get with the time.
If you haven't seen Spider-Man 2 by now, there's something wrong with you.
Yes, thank you. Simon Pegg will probably beat you up because he claims it's the best superhero movie ever, and I might be inclined to believe it's certainly well up there.
For sure.
So it's up there. Allegedly, he will be playing him at that point. We've also kind of more or less had confirmation that Jamie Foxx is playing Electro again. Because last we saw, he just kind of disappeared. I don't see how it couldn't feature Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield at this point. I think there's a risk of it becoming very convoluted, but they did the Spider-Verse animated film very well. So I trust Kevin Feige. I don't trust Amy Pascal, who is the president of Sony Pictures, because I think it seems like they're trying to build so much interest in Spider-Man so they can rip him away from the MCU again, which I'm not so thrilled about. But there's also talk of like they might do a Spider-Man 4, which was Sam Raimi wanted to do obviously 10, 13 years ago, because Spider-Man 3 I love, but it still was kind of a bit of a dip point at the end of it, and I think they could really do like a 10 years later kind of slightly kind of wrecked Spider-Man, a bit like what they've done with Ben Affleck in the DCEU. That's all I've got anyway. Dave, you got anything else?
Snowpiercer, the series. I basically got a
series.
Nice. Yeah, the series on Netflix. I need to start that.
Yeah, how are you enjoying that, Dave?
Eh?
How are you enjoying that? Snowpiercer. Yeah.
I found it a bit graphic for graphic's sake in places. I think you have to watch kind of like more than half of the first season because it really starts picking up then. But yeah, apparently the ending. I've seen just like snippets. I've seen an episode where the person running the train ends up in a sort of base somewhere, and she has to power it all up and keep going out and wiping snow off the solar panels and stuff. And food's running out. Blah, blah, blah. That was quite a good episode. Quite like that.
All right, cool.
Okay.
What do you think, Elliot? Because I piqued my interest looking at the previews.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen quite a lot of reviews which are very negative about one of the lead actors, and just it seems like to be quite a common complaint, even by those that quite like the show. They feel like it really takes them out of it. I don't know. Obviously, I haven't seen it, but they just don't feel that the character, or at least the way that the actor's portraying the character, is very enjoyable to watch, and it really puts them out of the experience. But considering I've seen the film, I feel like that's enough for me by the sounds of what the story entails.
Because have you all seen Snowpiercer, the film?
No, is the film the one on Netflix?
No,
it was, yeah. Oh, it's confusing. Yes, there is the
film is
Netflix-produced series on Netflix.
The film is the one with Chris Evans as the lead role. That's the film.
So is it Sean Bean? Bean?
Sean Bean in the series.
Right. It's the series I've seen previews of then.
Yeah, because the film was released a while ago, but I know
right.
me and Elliot are quite big fans of the
2013, I think,
film.
something like that.
The original film is really good. It's got a real good sort of, I don't know, grimy kind of feel to it. Like the sort of, it's quite moody, and it's really, I really like the way
it's the same director that did Parasite, which obviously won Best Picture the other year.
But the film is very good. So watching the series from that might be a bit of a step down if it's not.
I think you've got to do one or t'other.
Yeah, the film, I would say, having not seen the series, I would say from what I've heard about the series, the film is probably better.
Same here.
But I do want to watch the series at some point. So
I mean, the cinematography in the film is terrific. Like the fight scenes, one particular one through a tunnel, it's amazing.
Really good.
So I mean, you're gonna tick an awful lot of boxes if you want to watch that film, whether it's to do with story and character or cinematography. It's just really well made.
I just like the general concept of the Snowpiercer thing, so that's probably what will keep me watching the series if I do start it. Is just seeing where it goes, because I know where obviously the film ends, the way it ends.
Because I don't know where it fits in with because obviously it was graphic novels or books beforehand, and I don't know where that fits in the story, like the timeline. So I don't know if it's a prequel or sequel to the film, or in terms of the timeline.
Okay.
So I'll be interested to see it at some point for sure. It's on my backlog.
Right, but looking at our time clock, which is ongoing, maybe it's time for this train to disappear into its own tunnel.
Yeah, I agree.
Right, stop.
I'd like to skip the anime section again for another week because of other people talking about it.
Next week, first section anime. There you go.
Yeah. All right.
Promise to you, viewers.
Yeah. There's a few things on Netflix which I was going to mention, but I can't remember the names of the series I was looking at.
Good.
Probably best save for next week. But there's I've been doing some Netflix
scouting.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
Should we leave it there then?
I think
Until
so.
next time.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right then. Goodbye.